That's sad. Should I get it?
Hi.
Hi. I'm going to go get some water, and
Yes.
Robbie is going to do magic tricks. Watch, you guys. It's amazing.
No, I wish I had been told that I was going to be doing magic
some
tricks.
magic, Robbie.
Because I saw a magic trick this morning on Jasper's Circle Time for pre-kindergarten, and his teacher took a Ziploc bag full of water, and she stabbed a sharp pencil through it, and just left the pencil in, and it didn't leak. I don't know how that happened. It felt like magic to me. She stabbed like 6 pencils in it. It was amazing. And I had to interrupt Circle Time to be like, what is happening? I don't understand. So maybe we'll do that experiment later. Once again, we'll probably do a science experiment
Robbie, how'd the magic show go?
that Robbie doesn't understand, that you guys learn nothing from, but for some reason is interesting.
How did the magic go, Robbie? What? What?
You did a nice thing for me.
I sometimes do. In the last show, Robbie was bemoaning the lack of water in her cup. Ice in her cup.
No, here... This is a science
cheat.
experiment.
It's a cheat.
It's a cheat, but it's because I know some science.
If someone asks you to drink a glass of water...
Yes, and you fill it up with ice.
You're going to drink a lot less water than the next guy. However, if Robbie and I had a race right now, even though she has only half as much water, I would still win the race.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I was
do you want to do it?
hoping I'd have an advantage.
Let's see. You do have an advantage. It's just not enough of one.
Cordial greetings.
Hello, friends.
Well, hello.
Wait,
Cheerio.
Loving Fox YouTube
You
made it
made
back.
it.
Thank you, you savvy internet. Yes. All right. Drink water.
Drink water.
All right. So you guys, I don't know. We could do a little betting pool here.
We haven't timed Matthew drinking in a long time.
All right. Here
Okay,
we go.
Hold on.
Your
Wait.
Micmacs.
Wait. Stopwatch.
All right. How are you going to stopwatch me and drink at the same time? I don't think you have
can-
that kind of
I think I
multitasking in
can.
you, Robbie Bear. On your marks, get set, go.
Cheers. Prost. Jackety. Oh my God! Cold water is so much harder to drink.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
just
it was not 4.43
No, I know
seconds.
I didn't. I got a.
What, you didn't multitask effectively?
I got a frozen headache.
All right, friends. My point has been made for me. I don't need to gloat. I don't need to say I told you, Rob.
This is actually a handicap.
So you miscalculated.
Miscalculated.
Your advantage
Trying to
here.
drink
Yeah.
ice cold water fast is way harder.
Does anyone hear anything but excuses? I mean, all I hear right now is excuses.
I wonder if those crazy hot dog eating people who eat lots of hot dogs, if they know that cold water is not a good thing, that they should have warm water.
Hot dog eating. All right, here we go. We're moving on.
You know those guys who do the hot dog eating contest?
Kobayashi.
And women. A woman most recently won.
There are Vic Chestnut. No, Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi a few years ago had an epic battle to see who could eat the most hot dogs and buns at the same time.
It's so
you
disgusting.
guys, it's the weirdest thing.
So gross.
They separate the hot dog from the bun. They eat the hot dog.
They dip the bun in water, right?
And they shove it in their mouths.
I wonder if they know that warm water would do better than cold water.
I guarantee you that they have studied every dimension and variable, and they know exactly what's the best.
Is the point of that? Do they win prize money? Is that
Of course they do, and they win fame and accolades and the admiration of
That just seems
law-abiding
like a
citizens.
Terrible thing
Wait,
to
why
win
is
accolades
El
from.
Puppy freaking out over here? El Puppy, calm down. No one's stealing your name. You are the one and the only El Puppy. Loving Fox
There was
YouTube's
going to
name
be-
starts with an L. Oh, El Fox.
El Fox.
All right.
okay. It's
All right.
okay.
All right.
We
El
all get
Puppy,
along here.
you are the
All right.
one, the only, the eternal, the beloved, the respected, the admired, the appreciated.
Yes.
El Puppy. She who sent the Jackety Dancing video reigns supreme forever and always. All right. What does that say?
Show video of Matthew's bear-themed near-death experience.
All right, friends. Here is something. There is a place called Katmai National Park.
Yes.
It's near where we fish in Alaska. It's a legit national park that you can fly into on a pontoon plane. You can't get there any other way. You have to get in a little plane with pontoons instead of wheels. You land on the surface of a pond or a lake. You go up onto the beach. You jump out of the plane. And then you get out, and there are a series of trails. There are tons of park rangers. When you get there, you have to get training, because in this national park are dozens of grizzly bears that live there and fish there in the summers. So because they are so used to seeing people, they're kind of like, boring people. I want to eat fish. I don't want to mess with you. So it's actually pretty safe if you keep your distance. So I was walking on the beach, keeping my distance, but a bear decided not to keep her distance from me, as shown in the following video.
All right. So I'm going to save you the
21 seconds of introduction?
1 seconds of introduction.
Because I was like, oh, look at this beautiful plane I'm filming.
A float plane landing on the beach.
There can't be a bear anywhere near me. That's why I'm standing here with such cavalier confidence. All right. That was somebody saying, "Look
Wait,
out, Matthew."
Wait. That was absolutely Matthew's dad in the background going, "Look out, Matthew! Look out!
Do you
Which
see that
is
bear?
my favorite part of this
I
video.
am too close to that bear, you guys. That is, I am
Yes.
not within sanctioned bear distance. So have a look at that. Okay, that is a mother bear, and those are her cubs. That is the most dangerous situation, being near a mother bear and her
Yeah.
cubs. The most dangerous would be if I were standing between the two of them.
Yes.
But there, I guess it's just one cub. So the mother
No,
bear
hold on.
was like, "I'm going to stand next to this plane." Now, I probably should have been. Oh my gosh, then there's two.
Yes.
I should have been
You-
further away than this.
Well, you were backing away slowly, which is what you're supposed
Which you're
to
supposed
do.
to do. But
You're-
I was using my camera to capture some riveting bear footage at the time. So you guys, this was one of the neatest experiences of my life. I was out there in the wild, I don't know, 20 or 30 yards away from these bears. I'm telephoto zooming with my camera, so I'm
Yeah.
not very close to them at this point. But they have absolutely no interest in me, and you can see people on the other side are watching them too. But look at that. Those are real live grizzly bears and real life grizzly bear cubs, and it was so cool. And thank goodness I was neither eaten nor mangled nor threatened.
Now, for the record,
Yes.
Katmai does an excellent job
Yes.
of training people when they come in there not to bother the bears.
Yeah.
The bears are so familiar with people being there ogling them.
Yeah.
Is it ogle or ogle?
Ogle, ogle,
Ogle?
ogle. I'm gonna look it up.
Ogle?
I'm gonna look it up.
So the bears are used to people being there. They sort of treat them like birds, like just in the forest. You know, they walk by. Yes, those are grizzlies.
Are you tired of being treated like a bird? Then
so-
don't go near a bear. All right.
So there actually haven't been any problems with bears in this park. I think there was one. Ogle. The word is ogle.
Ogle.
So anyway,
I thought it was oogle, but it's
really?
clearly not.
It's
yeah.
ogle.
Because oogle sounds so gross. Stop
Yeah.
oogling me.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, guys, I wasn't eaten by a bear, but there's the bear
Yeah.
that almost didn't eat me.
The great thing about Katmai is that the park rangers put the bears' preferences ahead of people's
Oh my gosh.
preferences.
There's these bridges, you guys, that separate different parts of the park. And sometimes people get stuck on one side of the bridge because there's bears too close to the bridge. So people
Right.
sometimes miss their plane flights out because the bears don't want to move.
Yeah.
And if there's a choice between you and the bear always wins. Always. All right? So done.
there you go.
All right, so
And those bears just hung out there for a while, right, Matthew?
they did have for a while.
Okay.
So Robbie, you are
Look,
now
look at the bear pulling on the straps of the airplane. It's pulling on the tie straps of the airplane.
because it's a cub. It's like a baby. It's like a
"Wee,
puppy.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure the guy who's
Oh,
owned that plane was
oh.
like, no!
Did not like that one. but-
Don't
oh
untie
my
my
gosh! Look
plane.
at that! Look at that! I hadn't appreciated that.
Yeah.
So at least that wasn't my arm that
Right.
was getting tugged on
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
You aren't nearly as interesting as a piece of
Not,
rope, Matthew.
Not nearly. That is my claim to fame. More boring than rope.
Yes.
I would like that to be on a shirt. Could someone make me a shirt that says more
More
boring than rope?
boring than
Yeah.
rope.
All right.
Well, there you go, guys. Thank you for watching.
Let us see what is next on the agenda. It is
Okay.
Robbie
Hold on.
shows sketches from
First Show and refines one of them.
Okay, so I read a story that really wasn't much of a story. It was more a series of observations
Mm-hmm.
about the scenery and the animals and the people in Alaska. And
Mm-hmm.
Robbie pointed out that it has a lot to do. It seems like an early study for a book that we ended up making, Sunrise Summer, right? We talked to you about this yesterday. This is a book that goes into much greater detail and turns some of those observations I made in today's story into an actual book. So what I wanted to do was give Robbie a series of things that she might be able to illustrate. Robbie picked, here's a scene that Robbie picked. She picked
Okay.
a small brown bear ate a big red fish near a wide green river. And then the next line was, up above was a round white sun against a flat gray sky. So Robbie created this illustration really quickly, actually. I was impressed. This took her just about a minute. She selected a texture from a library of textures that she has, that she painted, and then she cut a hole for the sun, and she cut a hole for the bear. So those were just sort of flat silhouettes against this texture. I think it's really striking. I like it a lot.
Thanks. I like that one too.
Yeah.
I think that could be quite lovely.
Now, what would you do? Would you paint the whole thing?
No, I think I would just redo this as a painted. I mean, part of the reason I did this way for the sketch was that it was so quick. I just wanted to give a sense of what it was like. But I would probably draw, like I would ink in that bear and draw fur on it and stuff and draw the fish. And then paint the background. And
Okay. I like it. I like it. Okay.
yeah, I do too.
All right, but we're going to show you the other sketches before we decide which one to
Yes.
refine, because Robbie's going to develop the sketch a little bit more. So the next one was on the sandy beach were big trucks with rumbling engines and swinging cranes. Hanging from the cranes were heavy bags of fish. So here's a drawing that Robbie made. This took her a little bit longer because she had more lines to create. She did a little fixing. She made the bag too high originally, so she lowered it, and she could do that pretty easily with her digital tools. And so anyway,
I like that drawing of the truck.
I do too. I like it very much.
It seems very specific, though. Right?
Yeah, I think that if we're trying to create a beautiful... So every week, you guys, we're making an original illustration, and then we're auctioning it off to raise money for a local organization.
Yeah.
So we also want to pick the illustration that will be the best standalone piece of art, right?
Right. I think there's very few people who would look at this drawing and be like, I want to have that hanging in my bathroom. They'd be like, what are those fish doing in that bag? I don't understand.
No, I don't think
anyone would buy that. And we would then have to send them the book about Sunrise Summer.
They would like this illustration,
complicated.
But they wouldn't necessarily want to hang it on their wall.
Yes.
Okay, and the last one was in the cabin on the bluff were tired fishermen with heaping plates of steaming curry rice. So instead of drawing the plates and the rice, Robbie just did a pulled back image of the cabin on the bluff to show the scale, right?
Yeah.
To show how big this environment is and how relatively empty and how small the little trappings of humanity are, to make us feel small and humble in this grand, glorious, expansive nature. Was that what you were thinking when you put it together?
Goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly I was thinking, I feel I've drawn this drawing before. Where's that drawing?
Can I take a quick moment?
Yeah?
Waylon has been trying to sort of infringe upon El Puppy's nickname terrain.
Oh, okay.
And El Puppy just says, I will call you Waylon. She shut him down. She shut him down in his attempt. Were you looking for Sunrise Summer?
I was looking. It's right on your lap.
On my lap.
There we go.
There you go.
I will show you the drawing that I did that is very similar
You're going to
this
see
drawing.
that we're doing a little repetition here.
Little
And Robbie has
recycling.
already refined this drawing. Although I like how tiny it is.
I do.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to get us back.
Thomas Shanks, or Some Shanks, asked which charitable organization. There's an organization called the Bayside Hoyas that does programming and enrichment and community development for basically for families that need extra help in our community. And they do a great job. And right now they're helping families with the pandemic response. So we are happy to support them. They're run by someone that we respect and admire a lot. And they support lots of local kids that we love. So anything you want to add to that, Robbie?
No, that was great. You did a good job summing that up.
All right, good.
I'm trying to find
what are you
the
trying
other.
to find?
Well, I guess this gives a sense of what the beach is like.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh.
So there's our cabin on the beach. So
right, there it is.
So see, that basically is just that drawing blown up a little bit.
Now I want to show you something. See the light on up there?
Yeah.
That is Matthew making a cake while everybody else is fishing. This past summer, we started fishing.
Tell the truth about where Matthew was.
This past summer, we had a sort of a boring, slow fishing period. We put our nets in. There weren't many fish. And it was our friend's birthday. So I said, guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to go up to the cabin. I'm going to make a birthday cake for Tim. And you guys stay down here and finish up this boring, uneventful fishing. Right after I left, all the fish came.
They all came all at once. Our nets were so packed with fish. It was the most fish that we had gotten in a single day in years.
And for the rest of the summer, people were saying, Matthew, better go make a cake. Here come the fish. I was given such a hard time. All I was trying to do was make a nice cake for our friend Tim.
Matthew disappeared for like 4 hours, and the rest of us were down there sweating, picking fish. We didn't think we were going to make it.
Somebody would
we
come
were like, what is
me.
Matthew doing?
There were so few fish before I left. It seemed incomprehensible that many fish would come. So anyway, I've not lived that down yet.
Nope.
Okay, so the actual truth is, guys, this is a drawing that was derived from a photograph I took. So one day we were down there fishing, and the cake episode was true, but it wasn't the same day. One day we were down there fishing, and a rope broke loose, and so all of us together had to go grab the net and pull it back into place and tie it to the rope before the entire catch was lost. And so it took all hands on deck, meaning everybody had to grab it and pull it because it was really hard. And I said to myself, I know Robbie has to draw something like this for Sunrise Summer. I'm going to take out my phone and take a picture of them.
So while all of us were pulling on this rope, which is really hard, the tide's pulling really hard, the rope's really heavy, the net's really heavy.
They could have used my help.
We could have used an extra set of hands on the rope,
but
and Matthew's taking pictures. And I'm pretty sure that in this picture, my brother is saying, "What is Matthew doing? Get over here!"
Raiden's dad was probably
Raiden's dad.
Matthew! Matthew! But I hope that he now understands it was for art. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for art. I don't know if Robbie sufficiently backed up my art making at that moment, or if she
I
joined
didn't
the
in
scowling.
moment. At the same time, I was like, we're trying to fix something here.
May I weigh in and make an executive opinion?
Sure.
That you should develop the one with the bear. Not only because I think it makes the best piece of standalone art, but because this is the Week of the Bear.
The Week of the Bear.
So that's my recommendation. What do you think about
My recommendation was also that I like the bear. I like the setup.
As an illustration,
I think more than liking it as an illustration, I think I would enjoy seeing what it turns into.
Okay.
I think there are some things like I can already see what the truck is gonna like. If I did the truck, I can already kind of see how I would draw the truck.
It's a book illustration versus a standalone illustration.
Yeah.
The truck tells a story,
tells a piece of a
specific
story.
moment in a story, whereas the bear illustration is beautiful and stirring in its own. Stirring, Robbie. Would you agree with my assessment that it is stirring?
I don't know that it's stirring.
Stirring! I'd like you to try it.
I think it has a sensibility to it.
Excuse me.
Right? Do the bear.
Our
do
number
the bear.
one
do the
fan
bear. Yes.
has spoken.
All right.
Do the bear.
Thanks,
okay.
Puppy.
All right, here we go.
All right. Oh, I'm doing the bear now?
You're doing... Oh, no, you're not doing the... Well, you were going to refine it, but we got to get to the Realm of Kois.
Yeah.
You spent too much time not...
Well, we spent too much time telling stories about Alaska is what happened.
All right, friends. It is time. Thank you for reminding us that we are fundamentally here to read the Realm of Kois. That is our job, and we owe it to you.
Puppy, does L stand for loves Matthew? No, it stands for loves Robbie.
No. Okay, here you guys go. Chapter 15, Troubling Conclusions. It sounds like there's going to be some hard-hitting something or other in this chapter. Okay, we're going to read the entire chapter, because not very long. It's probably going to take us to the end of our program. L Fox YouTube friend, you're partway through a book here that we've been reading for a couple weeks. So if you go to the channel, there is a playlist called Real McCoys, and you can go back and catch the rest of the book if you want to. Or you can get the book, which is called Two's a Crowd, on the internet, in a bookstore. I guess at this point it's going to be an online order no matter what. But this is the second book in the Real McCoys series, so you might want to go back and read the first book first. It's called The Real McCoys. So anyway, just to give you some sense of context, we're going to read it. Maybe you'll decide that you
Remind me what page we're on, please.
We are on page 266.
266.
It helps Robbie if you sing page numbers to her. It helps her find them more quickly.
Where is 266?
It's right after 265.
Gosh,
and right
there's
before
so many pages that come before 266.
You had to do a lot of work on this book, didn't you,
You know,
Robbie?
my computer, I know I keep blaming my computer for things, but it was acting up this morning. I had to shut everything down, and because of that, I lost track of where all of the things are supposed to be, and now I found it, and we are now on page 266. Thank you very much.
All right.
And now we are going over to...
The Real McCoys, Volume 2, Two's a Crowd, page 266. All right, I'm going to... I think I'm going to read. I think my pace is a little faster than yours. And I think we have a little bit stretched for time.
What?
I actually prefer Robbie's reading of Milton. I love it. I haven't heard it in a long time. I miss it. But I think in deference to the time
all this time
involved,
that you're wasting...
Chapter 15!
All right.
Troubling Conclusions. The final bell rings, and I rush to the front of the school, where Milton is waiting. I show him my letter. "That's really nice," he says. "Have a look at mine." "You got one too?" "Yesterday." "Why didn't you tell me?" Milton gives me a look I suddenly remember. Oh, and I suddenly remember that we haven't exactly been on speaking terms lately. I read Milton's letter. It's full of things that seem really nice, but obviously aren't. "I'm worried about you," I say. "I'm worried about both of us. Now that we've been squiggled, we could be victims of a diabolical scheme." "What diabolical scheme?" "The Squiggler's secret plans to destroy Tiddlywump and everything Eddie stands for." "Have you been reading Annabelle Adams again? Every morning without fail for at least 20 minutes and occasionally more?" "I assume you're thinking about Volume 6, Death by Envelope?" "I am." I'm extremely pleased that Milton has done his homework. "It's a book, Moxie." "An excellent book." "It's imaginary, but extremely convincing." "Moxie." "Yes?" "Read your letter. I have read it probably 200 times already." "Read it again." I read it again. Gosh, it's so nice. "Now, ask yourself, does it seem like a diabolical supervillain like Dr. Fungo could have written it?" "Okay, fine. Whoever wrote this letter seems like a pretty nice person. Now read this one and this one. Describe the type of person who would write these letters. I do. The letters are full of compliments and kind thoughts and warm wishes. I hate to admit it, but it does seem improbable that any of them could have been written by a criminal mastermind. Instead, they're full of the sort of things that only someone as good and caring and thoughtful as my one true best friend, Emily Estevez, might say. But I do not mention this to Milton because, of course, Emily is not the Squiggler. That would be ridiculous. Like a bulldog with a bow tie. When we get home, we continue my big... Do you want to admire your bulldog for a second? I felt Robbie's energy.
Cute.
He says, "Who you calling ridiculous?" I love it. I love you, Robbie.
He's so cute.
Guys, I love Robbie.
Aww.
I just want you guys to know. I do. I so love her. I tell her that every day. I usually don't tell her in the show.
I know.
But on the show
but
today.
But the other 23 hours of the day, it's
on
constant.
The show, I love you. All right.
Oh, man.
When we get home, do you know how cool it is to get to write a book that your wife illustrates? Just saying. Dreams come true. When we get home, we combine my big stack of letters with Milton's small stack of letters. While I sit on a stool and sip lemonade, Milton sorts them all into various piles, in various rows, each of which clearly means something to him. I am full of questions, but whenever I ask one, Milton tells me not to interrupt. So I sit and watch and wait. Eventually he picks up one of the letters and walks over to my stool. I've reached a troubling conclusion. Oh? This was from your pile, which is why I hadn't noticed it before. He's holding up John's letter, the second one the Squiggler sent. Well, what about it? Look along the top. Along the top is a row of hearts. Dear John. Now, look at this. Milton hands me a list of third graders with most of the names crossed out. Okay. I see the same row of hearts. Thank you. Okay, I see the same row of hearts at the top, but this one isn't your handwriting. Who wrote it? Milton looks grim. My former partner, he says, when we were trying to narrow the list of suspects. I'm struggling to understand what Milton is trying to tell me. I hold the two pieces of paper side by side. The hearts are the same, I say, and the handwriting is definitely the same, which means... Milton looks sick to his stomach. The Squiggler is actually... Don't say it! Emily Estevez. I'm too stunned to even gasp. Milton looks through the piles again and discovers that Dee Dee Washington's letter is also on the paper with the hearts along the top, with writing that also looks just like Emily's. But none of the other letters have the hearts, and none of the other letters matches Emily's handwriting. I try to make sense of it all. Emily hired us to identify the Squiggler, but now we have reason to believe that she herself is the Squiggler, which means she's been leading us on a wild goose chase this entire time. I find myself... Go ahead, admire your goose.
I like the
I know.
goose.
I felt it. I felt it again. It says, "You can't catch me." See, I didn't write all the books, the words in this book, because Robbie writes these little captions. I find myself jumping to conclusions. And so I give myself a talking to. How are we doing on time? I actually have quite a bit of pages left. I want to make sure that we're okay.
It's 1:56.
Right, you call me off when you need to.
All right.
The last time I thought Emily had done something dastardly, I ended up accusing her and regretting it. Perhaps there is a logical explanation, even if I can't imagine what it could possibly be. Milton takes out his markers and ruler and spends the next few hours making a fantastic diagram. There are circles representing the people who have gotten letters. Each one is connected with an arrow to another circle with a question mark inside. It's amazing and incredible and so very... Milton. What does it mean? I ask him. Well, we know for sure that Emily sent letters to John and Dee Dee. I take a closer look and see that John and Dee Dee circles are connected to a circle with Emily's name inside. But who sent the rest of them? There are so many question marks. Was it Emily? The answer to this question is very important to me. Well, it could have been Emily, using different kinds of paper and disguising her handwriting, says Milton. But is it possible that it was someone else instead? It is possible. I might even consider it likely. You mean? Yes. I think there might be more than one squiggler. My mind explodes like a balloon at a porcupine's birthday party. The next morning, we find Emily. You know what? I think that's it. Let's stop there.
All right.
Yes, my
Okay.
mind is exploding like a balloon at a porcupine's birthday party. We've just discovered that there might be more than one squiggler, that Emily is one of the squigglers. There is so much excitement and uncertainty swirling about. Friends, I don't know how you're going to sleep tonight. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I don't know how... I do know how Robbie's going to sleep tonight. Robbie can
hard.
sleep standing up while someone goes like this, and she leans against the wall of a splintery moving boxcar. That is how Robbie sleeps. I'm going to see.
I wanted to admire my porcupine too, since I admired all the other animals that I drew.
All right,
I love this porcupine with his party hat.
he's
eating
the
ice
best.
cream.
You had some really good animal cameos. In this one.
Porcupines they might be my favorite animal.
They're so weird.
They
Imagine
are
if your
so
body was
cute.
covered with dangerous spikes.
But they are the cutest. Their faces are
I
so
know.
melancholic. They are adorable.
Here's a legitimate Alaska story.
Yeah.
In the summers, the porcupine used to go inside.
In the winters.
In the winters, the porcupine
Yes.
used to sneak into the garage, which was
Yes.
closed. They tried as hard as they could.
Yes.
And he would just poop.
He would just spend all winter there.
Pooping.
Pooping all over everything.
And they would open up the garage when they came the next summer, and there'd just be a big old poop mountain.
Piles of
And
porcupine.
whose job
poop.
was it to relocate the poop? Your job? Roji's
that
job?
was everyone's job.
Everyone had to move the poop. Mm-hmm. And
We would just shovel it out in wheelbarrows.
And didn't you at one point have to move the porcupine?
The porcupine.
Yeah.
Well, the porcupine. There was one time. I mean, I don't know if it was the same porcupine who had spent all winter there, but it was a porcupine who kept coming into our garage and chewing on. It would climb up on the four-wheelers and chew the rubber on the handlebars because they like to chew stuff. And so we had to relocate him. So we put him in a empty garbage can. We shuffled him into there. We trapped him.
Shuffled him kindly.
Shuffled him
and lovingly.
kindly into the
Yeah,
garbage
Mr.
can.
Porcupine, hey big poop man, come on over here.
And we took him just like out on the other side of the bushes into the tundra. And he was back the next day. And we did this a number of times, and finally we decided we had to really super relocate him. And we drove him so far out in the tundra, across a little marshy patch, and let him go in
And
some
that hurt
bushes
your heart.
over there.
That hurt your heart a little
Nope,
bit.
we were all glad that he was gone.
All right. C'est la vie, poop man. There's a couple of items that we're not going to get to today.
Oh.
One of them is to show you a photograph of a polar bear that we'll show you tomorrow.
Oh.
But the one I don't want to miss is a shout out to Bob Bear. All right. This is the week of the bear.
Yes.
And there is one bear that looms large in my heart and life, and that's Robbie Bear. But there's another bear that looms large in life in my heart, and that is Bob Bear, who taught me to have better grammar,
Yes.
who helped provide Robbie to the world so that I could get to know her, and who is such a good grandfather to my kids. So Bob,
out to Bob.
is one of the
Fist
most
bump.
amazing people I know. He's had the most incredible life experiences, and he tells the best stories.
Yes.
He's a great guy.
He would have told that porcupine story a lot better.
Go, Bob. Thank you for being you and for all that you do for our family.
Shout out to Bob.
Shout out for Bob. Everybody, give Bob some love.
Yes.
Give Bob some love.
Bob it up, Bob it up.
You know what? I don't know if Bob can read the comments.
Yeah,
so
we don't know if he knows how to
I'm
do
gonna
that.
say, oh my gosh, Bob, the volley of comments coming in. The love for you. All right, we got to go. It's 2 o'clock. It's time to go.
2
All right?
o'clock.
All right.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow
is...
we'll actually read more. We haven't given you a good solid day of reading in a while. We'll
Yeah.
do more.
Sorry
we will
about that.
show you Robbie's inked, because she's going to do her inking tomorrow.
I will do the inking on the show tomorrow.
Right.
I'll
On
sketch
the
it.
first show. On the first show.
Oh,
and then you'll get
yes,
to see the
right,
finished
right.
inking.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about nothing. We'll do some jokes. Oh, Bob. Do you have one joke? Does Alpuppy have one joke in closing?
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, one joke. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you call a fish without an eye?
A fish without an eye?
Mm-hmm.
A fsh. A fsh. If you take out the eye, it's just a fsh.
Oh, that.
No?
Oh, yes, that is what it is. That's the answer.
Okay, good.
I thought the answer was a fish because obviously a fish without an eye is the same as a fish with an eye.
No, it's a fsh. Yeah, okay. Go
Got
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
What room is impossible to enter?
A boardroom when you are not on the board. They will not let you in
Nope,
there.
they won't.
I'm not going to get it. What is it?
A mushroom. I think
Well,
if you had thought long
If
enough,
I
you
am
probably
small and I have an X-Acto knife, I'd get inside that mushroom.
You
So
are
don't-
not small, and you are not allowed to use
I
X-Acto
bet
knives.
in some jungle there is a mushroom big enough to admit me.
Please do some research on the giantest mushroom.
So that is your job, everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
All right, what's
Thank
next?
you.
What's next?
How do you get fired from a coin mint?
From a coin mint?
Like a mint that
How
makes
do you
coins.
get fired from a coin mint? You sneak in, change the dies, put yourself on the likeness of the dime, and say, "I'm the captain of Nevada." I think that would get you fired.
That would get you
They'd
fired.
be like,
probably.
"Get out of here! No one is the captain of Nevada."
Matthew's got lots of good ideas on how to get fired.
Yeah.
I bet if you did that in any number of places, you would get fired.
You only show up for a quarter of your shifts?
Oh, nope.
Oh. You nickel and dime someone?
Nope.
Oh, that's so good, though.
You stop making
money.
sense.
You stop making money.
You stop making sense.
But if you stopped making money, they would also fire you because your job is to make money. I know.
Sense
I know.
And sense.
You stop making sense.
That's a homonym.
I would stop making dollars and get fired. Okay? All right, what's next?
What did the reporter say to the ice cream?
You melt my heart. You give me brain freeze.
A reporter.
Can I have a scoop? Oh, can I have the scoop? Give me the
Yes.
scoop.
What's
What's the
the
scoop? What's the scoop?
Good job.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go.
We're 3 minutes over, you guys.
Thank you, new Fox friend. Come back tomorrow every day from 1 to 2. We're here for you.
We're gonna go out with a theme song because we forgot to play it today.
The Robbie and Matthew show. What? That's not the one they wanted to hear. That's not. This is full of lies, L Fox friend. No. Boo. Ah. All right, friends.
All right.
It has been our
We're leaving now. Goodbye.
New friend, you can join my fan club. Robbie's is full,
Or mine.
and it costs $20 to join Robbie's. Mine is free. Okay.